We measure our lives in years, days, and hours. But what if the very clock we live by is a cage? What if our perception of time is the invisible architecture of financial struggle? This isn't about managing your schedule. It's about understanding a hidden dimension where wealth is either created. Most believe poverty is a lack of money. But the root cause is often a distorted relationship with time. It's a condition we call the chronology of poverty, a subtle warping of past, present, and future that keeps individuals locked in a cycle of scarcity, regardless of how hard they work. This chronology operates through three powerful, almost undetectable time traps. These aren't simple financial mistakes, they are fundamental errors in temporal logic. They are the reason two people with the same starting point can end up in vastly different financial realities 20 years later. The first is the trap of linear time, where the hour becomes a unit of currency and a limit on your life. The second is the trap of the collapsed future, where tomorrow is sacrificed for the fleeting comfort of today. And the third is the trap of the perfect moment, an illusion that paralyzes action indefinitely. To escape, you must first see the prison. You must learn to perceive time not as a river carrying you along, but as a landscape you can navigate. In this documentary, we will deconstruct these three traps, revealing the mechanics of this hidden chronology. Understanding these temporal traps is the first step toward reclaiming your financial future. It's about rewiring your internal clock from one that measures scarcity to one that compounds wealth. The choice is not just what you do with your money, but what you do with your time. The first and most pervasive illusion is the trap of linear time. This is the industrial age bargain. You trade a fixed unit of your life, an hour, for a fixed unit of currency. It feels fair, it feels tangible, but it is the most sophisticated cage ever designed. When your income is directly tethered to the hours you are physically present and working, you have accepted a mathematical ceiling on your life. There are only 24 hours in a day. You can only work so many of them before you break. Your potential is capped not by your talent or intelligence, but by the clock. This trap conditions the mind to think in increments, not in multiples. The question becomes, how can I earn more per hour? Instead of the truly liberating question, how can I decouple my earnings from my time entirely? One path leads to raises, the other leads to freedom. Wealthy individuals understand that time is not a currency to be spent, but a medium in which to plant seeds. They build systems, create assets, and invest in things that work for them while they sleep. An employee rents out their time, an owner builds a system that rents out value. This could be writing a book that sells for years, creating software that serves millions, or buying an asset that generates cash flow. Each of these actions breaks the linear relationship. The initial time investment is finite, but the potential return is not. It's the difference between digging a ditch. Escaping this trap requires a profound mental shift. You must start seeing your time not as the product itself, but as the resource you invest to create products, systems, and assets. You must stop selling the hours of your life and start building things that outlast them. The second distortion of our financial clock is the trap of the collapsed future, more commonly known as instant gratification. It's a powerful psychological quirk where we systematically devalue a future reward in favor of a smaller, immediate one. We trade a future fortune for. This isn't a character flaw, it's a feature of our evolutionary wiring. For our ancestors, a bird in the hand was worth more than two in the bush because tomorrow was never guaranteed. But in the modern financial world, this instinct is relentlessly exploited against us. Every credit card swipe for a non-essential, every buy now pay later, offer. Every decision to consume instead of invest is a vote for the present at the expense of the future self. You are essentially borrowing from a future version of you who will be less equipped to pay the debt. The antidote to this trap is the conscious cultivation of a relationship with your future self. It is the understanding of compound interest, not just in finance, but in knowledge, health, and relationships. Compounding is the magic of a patient and valued future. To value the future is to make small, almost unnoticeable sacrifices today for an unrecognizably better tomorrow. It's choosing the investment account over the new gadget, the hour of learning over the hour of passive entertainment. It is a quiet, daily rebellion against our own primal instinct. Escaping this trap means expanding your personal timeline. You must learn to feel the reality of next year, the next decade, as vividly as you feel this afternoon. When the future feels real, you start making choices that honor it, and that is when the magic of compounding can finally begin to work for you. The final temporal prison is perhaps the most insidious, because it masquerades as prudence. It is the trap of the perfect moment. This is the endless state of preparation, the perpetual gathering of information, the constant waiting for conditions to be just right before taking action. People trapped here are always about to. They are about to start the business once they save a little more. They are about to invest once they understand the market perfectly. They are about to ask for a promotion once they complete one more certification. But about to is a permanent address. This trap stems from a fundamental misunderstanding of how progress is made. Success is not the result of a single, perfect, well-planned leap. It is the cumulative result of thousands of messy, imperfect, and corrective steps. It is a process of fire, ready. Fear is the engine of this trap. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of the unknown. The mind creates the need for perfect conditions as a socially acceptable excuse for inaction. But the universe does not reward preparation, it rewards action. The map is not the territory. Every successful entrepreneur, investor, or creator started before they were ready. They launched the imperfect product, made the clumsy investment, and wrote the flawed first draft. It was in the doing, not the planning, that the clarity and competence were forged. Momentum is a far To escape this trap, you must redefine your relationship with failure. See it not as an endpoint, but as a data point. The cost of a small, early mistake is infinitely lower than the cost of a lifetime of inaction. The perfect moment to begin was yesterday. The next best. The chronology of poverty is not an external force. It is an internal clock, set by our beliefs and biases. The trap of linear time, which caps our potential. The trap of the collapsed future, which steals from our older selves. The trap of the perfect moment. These are not separate issues. They are interconnected. The belief in linear time makes you devalue building assets for the future. Devaluing the future makes you susceptible to instant gratification. And the fear born from this short-term thinking keeps you waiting for a perfect moment that will never come. Escaping this system is not about finding a financial hack or a secret investment. It is about a fundamental recalibration of your perception of time. It requires you to consciously decide to live by a different clock, one that measures growth, leverage, and legacy. Begin by making your time asymmetrical. Invest 1 hour into learning a skill that can pay dividends for years. Build a small system that automates a single task. Plant a seed that can grow without your constant presence. This is how you break the linear equation. Then, Befriend your future self. Write a letter to the person you will be in 10 years. Make one decision today, however small, that they would thank you for. This act of imagination makes the future tangible, and a tangible future is one worth investing in. This is how you... Finally, embrace imperfect action. Launch the project at 80% ready. Make the call you've been dreading. Take the first, clumsy step. Momentum is the only antidote to paralysis. The path reveals itself to those who are already walking. This is how you escape the waiting. The clock is always ticking. But you have the power to decide what that clock is measuring. Is it counting down the hours you have left to sell, or is it compounding the value you have created? The answer to that question will define your financial destiny. Your freedom is not in having more time, but in mastering the time you have. It's about shifting from being a passenger in its flow to becoming the architect of your own timeline. The chronology of poverty is a choice, and today can be the day you choose to live by a different time.